All right, so welcome to my presentation on factoring by grouping. All right, factoring by grouping is kind of, it's a little bit weird, but honestly, I find factor by grouping next to doing graphing by GCF, the easiest thing to do. So I'm going to take four terms. Let's put 2x cubed minus 10x squared plus 3x minus 15. All right, if you notice right now, nothing can be combined. You can't do combined like terms. You can't make this any smaller than it already is. So now the question is, how do I factor by grouping? Well, one thing you have to pay attention to is before we start all this, and I'll go back and erase this, is what is the distributive property when you're talking about doing two binomials. So if you had A plus B times C plus D, how do you do this? How do you actually multiply this out? So if I were to multiply this out, I would have to do again, if you did FOIL, you can do the whole FOIL. I don't like gimmicks because even I have to think about what's F, what's O, what's I, what's L. What I do is I just pay attention to I basically just distribute, but I distribute two times. For instance, let's start with A. All right, so A is just being distributed to C and D. So it's A times C plus D. Okay, and I can do that multiplication if I could. I mean, I could go further with it, but I'm not going to at this point because I want to show you a pattern here. All right, so I'm going to do that, and then I have to take the second one, which is the B. Now I'm going to multiply the second quantity, the B, times the C plus D. And again, because I have a plus sign here, I'm going to throw a plus line over there, and I'm going to do C plus D. And again, I am not going to actually do the math here, or do the distributing here, because I just want to show you what this looks like. So what I want you to pay attention to is the fact that these two here match what's up here. All right, and that these two here always match the second thing. And I want you to pay attention to that because it really is going to help with factoring by grouping. All right, so we're going to take this. Let me use my eraser here and get rid of this. All right, so we're going to start off by looking at the first two terms here, the 2x cubed and the 10x squared. So in order for us to do this, what we're trying to do is do the GCF of the first two terms. So what do they have in common, and what can we take, the most we can take out of both of those? So the easiest way to do it in terms of letters is look at the letters and find the smallest of the two, because you can't take out more than any term can give. So if I look at the smallest of the two, I can take out an x squared. All right, that way, this x cubed does have an x squared in it, and the 10x squared only has x squared. I can't take out x cubed because 10x squared doesn't have enough x's to do that. All right, so I'm taking out x squared, and then I'm going to look at the numbers, 2 and 10. Well, I can take a 2 out of 2, and I can take a 2 out of 10. So I can divide both of those by 2. All right, so the question is, when I do that, what is left over, or what do I have to multiply with here and here? Remember, I'm going to get two terms because that's why factoring by grouping. I know I'm going to have some sort of binomial in here or a two-term thing in here, so I have to figure that out. So all I have to think about is 2x squared times what gives me 2x cubed. Well, 2x squared, I need to get to x cubed, so I need another x. So 2x squared times x is 2x cubed. All right, I need this minus sign in here. All right, and then I say 2 times what gives me 10? 5, and then the x squareds, I don't need any more x squareds because that's what I have, so I'm not going to add any more x's in there. All right, so x minus 5. Now, if I applied what I just talked to you on the other slide, I'm going to write x minus 5 again. And I'm going to try to figure out what goes inside here. All right, so if I have x minus 5 and I want 3x minus 15, I must have to have a positive 3, because positive 3 times x is positive 3x, and positive 3 and negative 5 is negative 15. So that works. Now, according to what we were talking about before with the distributive property, I take the guys that are on the outside and put them together in one parenthesis. And I take the things that are common and put them over here. Now, again, if I were to use the distributive property, again, on all that, I will get this whole line again, which I don't need, but this is factoring by grouping. So here you're done with this. Okay, so let's do another example and see where we're at. All right, so here's our next example. 4x to the fourth plus 12x cubed plus 6x squared plus 18x. And we're going to factor by grouping. So in this case, again, we're going to look at the first two terms, just because that's a lot of times that's just easier to do. You can do another two terms. In fact, I could show that we can get the same answer using different ones, but usually the first two work. If not, then you kind of have to jump around and find anything that goes together, and you will eventually get to the answer, but the first two usually work. All right, so 4x to the fourth and 12x squared are cubed. Again, the variables are the easiest. You always take the smallest of the two. I know you're looking for the greatest common factor, but the smallest exponent is the greatest one for that term. So you can't take anything more than one can give. All right, and then we got 4 and 12, and again, in this case, 4 can be taken out because you can divide 4 by 4, and you can divide 12 by 4. All right, so in parentheses, again, we're going to get two terms in here. What do we have left, or what do we need in order to get 4x to the fourth if we have 4x cubed? Well, 4x cubed times x will give us 4x to the fourth. Got a plus sign in there. And then we need 12x cubed, and we already have a 4x cubed, and we're multiplying, so this needs to be a 3. All right, so I'm going to copy that x plus 3 that's in parentheses over here, and I'm going to try to see if I can get my answer. I can get something back here. All right, so I'm going to try. Okay, so 6x to the, I need 6x squared, and I have an x, so I need a 6x. Okay, so 6x, I can take a 6x out of that. So 6x times x is 6x cubed, and 6x times 3 is 18x. So I put them together, 4x cubed plus 6x, and put that in parentheses, and then copy the common ones down below. And now, this is kind of a tricky one. I threw this in here, but you actually can go a little bit further here on this because I want to kind of make the point, but not have tremendous a number of examples. But you have to look at what you have left and say, can I factor it even more? These guys can be factored even more than you have written. So 2x cubed and 6x. You can factor out a 2x. Whoops. So you're left with a 2x squared plus 3x, or excuse me, plus 3, and then, and then the x plus 3. That's your final factored answer. So you need to always look at the answer once you combine stuff together and see if it can be factored more. Now, to just kind of make a point here, you could have actually taken a 2x out of every single one of these terms when you started out, and then you would have been just left it off to the side, done your grouping, and then you would have placed it back on the front of it when you got done. So here's a good example of you doing factoring by grouping, but also having more factoring to do. I'll throw in some more examples. All right, another example would be 2x y plus 16x plus y plus 8. All right, so we're going to, here's an example of, all right, so let's take the first two. Okay, so the first two I'm going to take, looks like out of these two, I can take out 2, and I can take out an x. So if I take a 2x out of there, I'm left with again, 2x times y gives me 2xy plus 2x times what gives me 16 and 8. Now, I write y plus 8 here. Now I have to take out something, because if I don't, I don't write this, then if I were to multiply these two out here and not have this over here at all, then I end up with only two terms, and I need all four terms. So I need something in here to generate the this y plus 8. So I'm going to put here, if I want to leave things alone, I'm going to put a plus 1 in there so that I do generate those two terms. So that'll give me the y plus 8 I need. So again, I'm going to put the outside numbers together under one set of parentheses. And then I'm going to copy the common down at the bottom. And I look to see that these two have anything in common? Nope. Do these two have anything in common? Nope. So therefore, I am done.